Welcome back, YouTube, to the Valera Boys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Today, we're going to do our top 5 board games.
All right, so Lucas is going to name his top 5. I'm going to name my top 5, and we're going to do it going backwards, countdown style. So he'll do his 5th one, my 5th, 4th, 4th.
So on and so forth.
Correct. So, Lucas, what is your 5th favorite game right now?
My 5th favorite game is Takenoko.
So what is Takenoko about?
Takenoko is a tile placing game where you have a gardener and a panda. The panda's job is to eat all the bamboo in the garden, while the gardener's trying to stop him and grow more bamboo and protect the panda from it.
Right, so in the game, you either get a panda card, gardener card, or a land card. So you're either trying to build certain hexagons, certain colors, and certain patterns. You're either trying to collect bamboo from the tiles, or you're trying to collect a certain type of bamboo with the panda cards.
Or you're trying to get a layout of all the bamboo.
Right, so depending on how many players are playing, once you fulfill either 6 or 7 or 8 cards, the game's over, and then on the cards there's a bunch of points. You count up your victory points, and the winner is declared. So that's Lucas's 5th favorite game.
Oh, I forgot to say that all these games you see right here, they are out of our about 50 games we have, I'm going to say.
Okay.
The top 5 for both of us out of our 50 games we have.
Correct. All right, so my 5th favorite game is Camel Up. Camel Up is a really cool betting game. A lot of people see the game and they see the different color camels and they think, oh, I want to be the blue camel, I want to be the red camel. But in actuality, you're not a camel, but you're betting on the camels to race around the track. You're betting on whether you think they're going to finish first. You can bet on whether they're going to finish last. You can bet on which camel is going to be in second or second to last. And the cool thing about this is the reason it's called Camel Up, there's these little camel meeples that if you land on the same space, your camel just lands on top of the other camel, and now the camel on top of the other camel is considered in first. So if, say, the yellow camel's on top of the white camel, and the white camel crosses the finish line, he finished second. The yellow camel finished first. It's kind of cool. It's a lot of strategy in the game, and they move based on dice that come out of a really cool looking pyramid. So Camel Up is my 5th favorite game. It's a hit all the time with everyone we play. It's a great party game, and we get really loud when we play it.
I forgot to say that in other future videos that we're going to explain all these games.
Yeah, well, in future videos we'll talk about these games in more detail and then show the components and some gameplay.
My 4th favorite game is Stone Age.
Worker placement.
This game is a worker placement game where you try and place characters to gain materials. There's 4 different special things I like about this game. One, you can get more meeples by just doing a certain action. Second, you can make tools to either higher or lower your dice roll. Third, you can raise the food you get each turn, so
Talk to the camera, bud.
So basically you don't starve to death, or because if you starve to death, you lose. If you don't have enough food for your players and not enough resource to do it for them, you lose 10 victory points per each.
And your 4th favorite?
The 4th thing is that the shop.
Okay.
Where you can buy new cards, get more huts, and that's how I usually can win by getting.
Right, so you're trying to collect resources. You send your workers out to different parts of the board, and one part of the board could get you an extra worker. Another part of the board can get you food, can get you wood, can get you brick, can get you stone, and can get you gold. And depending on what you're trying to build, you can trade those resources in for points around the board.
The best is gold. The worst is wood.
Yeah, gold is worth more, obviously, than wood. So
clay is second, then brick, then stone.
So this is Lucas's number 4, Stone Age. Okay, my number 4 is a game that just recently came out that we did an unboxing of some booster packs. And that is Star Wars Destiny. Now, I don't have the box anymore, but this is all of our Star Wars Destiny dice that we have. Yes, it's a lot.
We're only missing 3 legendaries.
All right, so here's some of the cards. And the way Star Wars Destiny works is everyone builds a 30-card deck. And you pick characters. You could be villains versus villains, heroes versus heroes, or heroes versus villains. And each villain and each hero card at the bottom has a set number of points depending on how strong you want them to be. You can't have more than 30 points. So you start your team, you build your deck, and then you just battle one-on-one versus another player. For example, if I were to battle Lucas, he would have his deck, I would have my deck. And then the dice, depending on the characters and depending on their powers, you could either attack, you could change the roll, the dice on one of their rolls, you could eliminate some of the cards from their hands. And the way you win the game is each character card has points on it. Once you start whittling down the points, once all their characters are dead, that person wins. Or if some cards, you could actually make the other characters lose their cards. So if they have an empty hand and an empty deck, they lose that way as well. So I believe this game might be on Lucas's top 5 as well. So when it comes up to him, he can say a little bit more about this. So that's Star Wars Destiny. I don't have the box because
I think we might have a little series of this, of us like playing each other and describing like character cards.
We might. All right, so that's my number 4. Lucas, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Batman Love Letter, or all love letters in general. This is just one type of it.
This is the Batman version of Love Letter.
Basically, Love Letter is where there's 8 different cards, and you just want to like rule everyone out.
All right, so cards are numbered from 1 to 8, and the more basic cards are number 1s, and there's about 5 of them. Then for the number 2s, there's about, I believe, 2, and then from there on out, there's only 1 of each. And at the end of the game,
no, it's up to 5 that there's 2. Then from the rest, there's only 1.
Okay, so at the end of the game, whoever has the highest card is the winner of that round, and you're trying to win at least, depending on how many players are playing, either 5, 6, or 7. These little, in this version, these little Batman symbol tokens.
With the cards, there's also other ways to win.
Right. So in the cards, certain cards say something like, compare cards. Whoever has the highest value keeps going, and then whoever has the lowest value is out. But you always want to have the highest number. The reason it's called Love Letter, and Love Letter has nothing to do with Batman. In the original Love Letter game, you're trying to get a love letter to the princess. Princess is the highest level card at a number 8. So there's a king, there's a prince, there's other characters in there, and you're trying to compare cards. And there's only 16 cards in the entire game. That's a cool thing. We like to take this game when we go out to eat, say Applebee's or another restaurant. And while we're waiting for our food, we just pull out Love Letter and have a great time. So that's Lucas's number 3.
There's also special rules in every single one. We'll go through that later when we do like a Love Letter video.
Right, so the Batman Love Letter has a slight tweak. There's the Hobbit Love Letter, all different kinds. So
number 3.
My number 3. It's a heavy box.
Blood Age.
Blood Rage.
Oh, Blood Rage.
Not Blood Age. Blood Rage. Lucas hasn't played this one yet. I played this one with a bunch of my friends, and it is an amazing game. This is an area control game where you play a Viking clan, and you are trying to take over certain areas, and if people come into your area, you go to war. You go to a quick little battle, and it has amazing miniature figures. For each clan has different figures, so there's like a Raven clan, a Wolf clan, and we're all trying to battle for different regions, and in the middle of the board, there's Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil is the magical tree in Viking culture that is basically the place to be. So the cool thing about this game is even when you go to battle, and if you lose, you can still get points for losing. If you make it to Valhalla. Valhalla is the Viking promised land. So we'll go more into detail when I teach this game to Lucas and he can play against me.
And then we do a video.
And we might do a video for this one as well. So Lucas's number 2 is
Star Wars Destiny.
Star Wars Destiny again. So, Lucas, what do you want to say about Star Wars Destiny?
Star Wars Destiny is like just what my dad said.
What a few little tidbits you can add to the video.
Yeah. Basically, my dad explained it. It's like a game where you play cards, heroes versus villains. But my point of view of this is it's an amazing game where you could be either like on the defensive side or the attacking side. Like I know 2 people of each that I have in mind for our first video talking. We'll save that for later. But that's my number 2 game. It's very good.
And we'll talk more about it when we do gameplay. Okay, my number 2 game. It's an even heavier box.
Scythe.
Scythe, for a long time was my number 1 favorite game. It is probably the most beautiful game I own. By Stonemeyer Games, and it is a beautiful board set in an alternate reality in 1920s Europa, and you have different factions trying to control the land and get to the factory in the middle of the board. And as people see the mechs on the cover and they're like, wow, it's a huge battle game. It's really not. Your faction is trying to control the land by getting the resources from the land, such as oil, food, wood. And the board's pretty big, so you can actually play a game and maybe have 1 or 2 battles. And when you do have the battles, the mechs are there for your protection. So they do battle for you. But I've played a game against my buddy Mike where we didn't even battle once, and you could do that as well. It's the details for this game are amazing. The components are amazing, and we'll show more once we do get to do a gameplay video. So this is Scythe by Stonemeyer Games. Good job. That's my number 2. Oh, that's a heavy box. And Lucas is number 1.
But first, I want to do a little honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions.
Things that could have came in, but didn't.
Okay, so honorable mentions for me would probably be Santorini.
Me too.
Mechs vs. Minions.
Me too, as well. I'm not joking.
Probably Stone Age. I really like Stone Age.
Happened.
Above and Below.
Mhm.
And maybe Imperial Settlers. Lucas, what about you?
Well, mine will be Star Wars Risk, Santorini, like you said. Machikoro.
He loves Machikoro.
Legendary.
Legendary is great.
And what's it called? 5 Tribes.
5 Tribes. Awesome. All right. So Lucas is number 1. Drum roll.
Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to Ride. Before he talks about Ticket to Ride, let me tell you about Ticket to Ride. So 2 years ago, it was President's Weekend, and there was a lot of snow here in New Jersey, and we just were watching YouTube on our Xbox, and we came across a video series called Tabletop. Up to that point, we had only played your basic Monopolies and Life and stuff like that. Hold on.
Speaking of tabletop.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. And so we started watching it, and it's presented by Will Wheaton and the Geek and Sundry channel now. And we saw Ticket to Ride, and we were amazed at this really cool game that looked like a lot of fun. So that day we must have watched, I would say, 5, 6, maybe 7 episodes, and then we went out, and our first strategic board game that we ever bought was Ticket to Ride, and it's his number 1. And Lucas, tell me why Ticket to Ride is your number 1.
Well, first, let me tell you about Tabletop. Tell everyone about Tabletop. So, Tabletop is, you should definitely check it out. It's a really fun board game series.
On YouTube.
I'm not going to spoil it, but Will Wheaton...
Why? He does lose a lot.
Almost every single time.
Okay.
Well, back to Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride is basically a strategic game where you have like these little trains that you're trying to get from places to places.
But where are the places?
There's like a bunch. And then basically you have different colors. You want to get you have little train pieces. You want to get your trains from like one point to another point. For instance, like Monhurity to
Where?
Monhurity.
Monhurity?
Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Monhurity.
It's a map of the United States. So you could go, they have all the major cities here. Monhurity is not one of the major cities.
Monhurity.
Or Monhurity. So everyone has a certain color of...
It's something along those lines.
Everyone has a certain color train, and So Lucas would have all the red trains. He always plays red. I would have the blue trains. And you get little tickets, and you're trying to complete those tickets. For example, your ticket could say San Francisco to Seattle. So there's different paths you can take, and you can only take them if you have the color of the card for that path. So certain paths could be a red path, a blue path, a black path, a pink path. But
It doesn't matter about the color of your train, though.
No, the train's always going to be your color, but you need those color cards to match that path. Unless it's a gray path, which is then it could be any color. If it's a gray path, you can have
and also
yellows, cards,
rainbow cards.
Rainbow cards are the wild cards. So they could represent any color. And we love this game a lot because it is a game that not only is our first strategic board game, but it's a game that even my mom could play. My mom is
My grandma, which is 80 years old, is the only board game she plays with us.
Yeah, it's the only board game she can play with, and she loves watching playing it. She's so cute when she plays it. So, Ticket to Ride is Lucas's number uno.
Uno.
All right.
Number uno.
My number one. That doesn't sound like a drum roll. That sounds like buffalo stomping. All right, stop.
Sorry.
My number one is
Terraforming Mars
by Stronghold Games. So
I don't know nothing about this game, so take it away.
Yeah, Lucas hasn't played this. This game's a little heavier for Lucas than his tastes go. Terraforming Mars is a amazing game about terraforming Mars. Why is it amazing? To terraform Mars, basically you're trying to raise the temperature level to a rate where it is acceptable for life to thrive, the oxygen level, and you're trying to place oceans. So the way you do this is by accumulating cards, and some certain cards let you just pay the resources or pay the cost to do certain actions, and you also try to get resources in order to fulfill those cards on this game. So Terraforming Mars, my number one currently. I suggest you pick it up when it comes back out. It's kind of hard to find right now because it is that good. But I do hear a reprint is coming soon. So that's my number one.
Make sure to like, comment,
and subscribe.
Subscribe down below.
And in your comments, if you'd like, you can leave your favorite board game. And we'll reply to every single comment left. We always try to do that. So
a little like goes a long way.
A little like goes a long way. So 2017, we're trying to produce more content every week. So keep your eye out for the Valera boys. And as far as for the Valera boys, we're signing off for today. Peace.